This is a short one. That's what she said. I want to give a special thank you, and I want to make this special upload, this special video, this special piece of audio with the video companion of whatever image, filter, graphic, and effect or effect. Is it effect or effect? Whatever I put on this damn video, I want to dedicate this upload, not to you, the subscribers, no, please. Not to the people who hit the like button, no. I want to dedicate this video to Bret Hart. And when I say Bret Hart, I don't mean the young man from Canada. I don't mean the up-and-comer in Stampede Wrestling. I don't mean the Hart Foundation tag champion with Jim the Anvil, who also was on the Coke or the Pepsi or the Snort. I don't mean the Intercontinental champion who faced the likes of Roddy, Stubborn Piper, or Mr. Perfect before his back cracked. Vince McMahon was cracking Janelle Grant's back, but I don't want to dedicate this to the man who won the World Wrestling Federation title and then had to redo the finish with Flair. Was that Flair? He had to redo the finish? I don't know. I don't mean the man who he faced Yokozuna and lost, and then Hogan took his spotlight. I don't mean the man. Did Bret ever win the Royal Rumble? If he did, I don't mean the Bret Hart who won the Royal Rumble. I don't mean Bret Hart who had Jerry Lawler kiss his foot or suck his foot because Pat Patterson's a weirdo. How about Bret rants on him? He's in the grave since Bret Hart has no standards. I don't want to thank Bret Hart who won the World Wrestling Federation title in 1994 at WrestleMania 10, after he did the job to Owen, the real talented Hart. No. I don't want to thank the Bret Hart who was the $300,000 champion who did not mind making those pennies, who did not care about the people under him and what they were going to make before, during, or after him. No, I don't want to thank the selfish Bret Hart. I don't want to thank WrestleMania 11 horrible I Quit match Bret Hart. No. I don't want to thank the Iron Man match in 96 where half the building actually left during the match because it was boring. No. I don't want to thank Bret Hart who tried to be in a cowboy movie or something on USA Network in 96. No. I don't want to thank the Bret Hart who was ranting and raving after the steel cage match. You turn a blind eye to it. I don't want to thank the blind eye Bret Hart, the seeing eye Bret Hart, his seeing eye dog, his seeing eye mother, or his seeing eye father, Stu. Stu was stretching young boys in the base. Stu Hart, the first Patterson, the first Vince McMahon. I don't want to thank him. I don't want to thank the bitter Bret Hart who did the... You know what? Freudian slip. That is who I want to thank. I want to thank the bitter Bret Hart. Not the champion, not the technician, not the guy who didn't learn how to cut a promo till 97. No, I want to thank bitter Bret Hart. And speaking of 97, ain't that where the bitterness reached its peak? By that point, him and Shawn Michaels having their backstage feud over nothing, over Sunny days. Hey, how's Sunny doing these days? Where is she at? I want to thank the bitter Bret Hart that fully bloomed and blossomed. Is it blossom or bloom? I don't know. It fully blossomed in 1997 when he was quote unquote screwed like Janelle Grant on the desk at Titan Towers. You turn a blind eye to it. Steve Austin, you stinking hyena. Shawn Michaels, you're no role model. That's the Bret Hart I want to thank. The man who, after Montreal, kept getting screwed and screwed. My God, you think he'd stay in the house? No. He didn't want to stay in the Hart house because Stu was making nuggets and fries and using cat litter pans to pick them up, allegedly. Whatever happened to Natalia's face? What? Oh my God. Why is she still in the company? I blame Bret Hart for the fact that Tyson Kidd got his neck destroyed by Samoa Joe. I blame Bret Hart for the failure of Teddy Hart's career. What is it with these Harts and cats? I blame him for those things, but I want to thank bitter Bret Hart. I want to thank him for living in the past. Bret Hart acts like he still has a Blockbuster card. He acts like he just came from shopping at Circus City. He acts like he just bought a Tickle Me Elmo. Bret Hart acts like he still plays NHL 97 on Sega Genesis. I want to thank Bret Hart. I want to truly thank him. Because if it was not for his bitterness, I would not have the great amount of content that I've produced based on him in the last year, year and a half, 2 years. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Whether he's ranting and raving illogically, moronically, or just can't get over things, because Bret Hart is someone who can't move on from anything. Goldberg, Vince McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Eric Bischoff. Now, all of a sudden, new to me, he doesn't like Jake the Snake Roberts. I never even knew about that. How about the infamous story that the Honky Tonk Man told, that Bret Hart complained that you didn't punch him hard enough. But then when Goldberg, well, I guess Goldberg make up. I guess Goldberg made up for Honky Tonk Man being too light in the ring. The fact that Bret Hart refused a job to El Dandy. You talk about halting someone's career. There in 1990, for those who don't know, when Bret Hart was a mid-carder in the year of 1999, before they dropped WCW Mayhem on the PS1, Bret Hart was booked to wrestle a Latin superstar, I think he was Latin, named El Dandy. This would have been the biggest moment, the biggest match, the biggest opportunity in the life, in the career of El Dandy. And you know what Bret Hart did? He did what he accused Hogan of doing, Shawn Michaels of doing. He refused to put over El Dandy. And the man's life, the man's career, the man's finances were never ever the same ever again. He's Canadian, so I don't say again, I say again. Hit the like button for Bret Hart, burying up-and-comer, blossoming superstar. There's no telling who else he stifled towards the end of his WCW run. Is he the reason that we no longer see Blitzkrieg? How about Tony Mamaluke? Is Bret Hart the one who stood in the way of Ernest the Cat Miller becoming the world champion, standing with his foot on Goldberg's chest, being triumphantly counted the 3? Imagine the reign that Ernest the Cat Miller could have had, but no, he was reduced to being the WCW commissioner off and on for like 6 months. Is Bret Hart the reason Lance Storm can't get it up in the bed? Forgive me, wrong video. You know, speaking of people that I don't like, I think I just don't like Canadians. I cannot stand Lance Storm. And I don't, you know, I would make a hell of a video on Lance Storm, but I don't think anyone cares about him. If you want a Lance Storm video, donate to the Cash App. The Cash App is $XDN online. If someone wants to donate for it, I'm not doing it for free. It's Lance Storm. But I have a great video ranting and raving and exposing Lance Storm for the individual he truly is. Stinking hyena. I want to thank bitter Bret Hart. This man has created opportunity after opportunity for me, not wrestlers, but for me. And I will continue to eat off his carcass because he's seen fit to make it that way. The man is a giver. And Sonny was taking it. With that said, leave your comments. What are your thoughts on my heartfelt tribute to Bret Hart? Do you think I could have given more? Do you think I gave him too much? A legend. Not the Intercontinental Champion. Not the WWF Champion. Not the Hall of Famer. Not the Canadian Hall of Famer. Not the Canadian minor league hockey team owner, AHL or whatever it's called. Not the King of the Ring, not the WrestleMania winner, not the Royal. Did he ever win the Royal Rumble? I can't really. I'm trying to think. Okay, let's go through the Royal Rumble. I think 91. Let's do the 90s. I think 90 was that Warrior. I think that was Warrior. 91. Was 91? Who was 91? Was that Hogan? Was it Hogan? I think 91. I don't know. 92. Didn't they have like some thing where like Sid pulled Hogan out and then some like lottery or some whatever? Okay, 93. Who won the Royal Rumble in 93? Was that Yokozuna? 94. What was I think 94 was Bret and Luger. They fell out together like Bret Hart falls out with everybody. Speaking of Lex Luger, that's another person that Hogan did put over, but of course Bret forgets that. Now, Hogan did take the belt back like 6 days later on the pay-per-view, but he still did job for Luger, and it was a great moment in WCW history. The biggest moment of Lex Luger's career. 95 was Shawn Michaels, his favorite superstar. 96, wasn't that Shawn Michaels again? Got to push him. I hear Patterson push it in him. 97 was Austin, but not really Austin, but it was Austin. 98 was Austin. 99 was the Mac Man. Oh, Vince McMahon's favorite person. 2000, well, Bret Hart's long gone by then. And let me not forget, didn't Bret Hart come back? Didn't he make his triumphant return in like 2010 and beat The Miz to become the U.S. champion? Didn't that happen? Where he's wearing his John Cena jorts? Bitter Bret Hart strikes often, and I'm here to capitalize. With that said, I'm up out of here, and that is it. XDN wins once again.